everyone, and welcome to Nervous Nessie. It is the last day of the trip. Slept really good last night. Slept in a little bit longer this morning, which was nice. I honestly could have slept in even longer, but I guess my body's gotten used to waking up early, so I ended up getting up early, and I managed to pack as much as possible into my luggage and my backpack. I do have a small bag. I'll show you here, if you can see in the seat, a small bag that's going to be considered my personal item. I really hope that when I get to the airport, my luggage is not over the weight limit. It doesn't seem too much heavier, and I hope they don't weigh my backpack, because that's definitely going to be over the limit. And I hope they consider my personal item okay, even though it's just an open bag, which does kind of concern me, because I have to put this bag underneath the seat in front of me on the flight, and I'm afraid things may come out of the bag because it is open. What I can do is I always carry a small foldable bag that I use. I used it on this trip to hold all of my snacks and stuff. I could kind of wrap that around it and then place it underneath the seat, and that'll kind of help keep stuff inside there. We shall see. I left the hotel and went and got breakfast. I ended up eating at Cracker Barrel, which I love Cracker Barrel. Their breakfasts are consistently good, and there's not one near where I live. So whenever I travel, if there's a Cracker Barrel, I always try to go there. I highly recommend it. I've been eating there like my whole life. It is really early. I went ahead and put in my GPS to drive to the airport. Right now it is 11:14, and it says I'm gonna get there at 12:47. My flight's not until like 7 o'clock tonight, so I hate to get there that early. I mean, I want to get there early and deal with, returning the car and taking the shuttle over the airport, getting through security, all of that. I like to have a good cushion of time, but that's a little bit too much. 6 hours early to the airport is a little much. But there's nothing else really for me to do. I could stop at some places. I don't want to buy anything because I have nowhere to put it. So I do have time to kill, but at the same time, I could just go ahead and go to the airport, find my gate, and which will probably change 50 times over the next 6 hours. And I could just go to the airport and sit and do my cross stitch, be peaceful. But it is kind of early. I'm gonna play it by ear. I may get into Denver, maybe see, along the way some stuff. I can just stop and kill some time. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, the next time you'll see me, I'll be at the airport. So I decided to kill a little bit of time, because I'm afraid if I get to the airport too soon, that my luggage could be lost. Usually if you get to the airport really early, then it kind of increases your chances of your luggage being lost, and I definitely do not want that. So to kill a little bit of time, I decided to drive to Buc-ee's. I'll turn the camera around. You can kind of see over this truck here. So Buc-ee's, they're mostly in the southeast. I didn't even know that they had one out here. They're slowly making their way across the country. For those of you who are not from the United States and don't know what Buc-ee's is, or if you're like me and you're from an area that does not have Buc-ee's, Walmart is kind of an American staple. It's this massive chain grocery store that has everything. Buc-ee's is kind of the same way. They have everything that you could want. They have, I'm gonna turn the camera over this way. They have this massive gas station here where you can buy gas. They have a full grocery store. They have an entire wall of just jerky. All kinds of flavors, all kinds of meat, just jerky. They have a lot of Buc-ee's, like souvenirs, toys, clothes, camping gear, like they have everything. So I thought, okay, there's not one near where I am at. I'll check it out. It was about an hour drive to, you know, past Denver Airport, maybe a little less. But it killed some time. And now I am going to turn around, now that I've gone into Buc-ee's and checked that out, and I'm going to turn around and head to the car drop-off. Right now it's 1:56, and the GPS, I've got it in here, the GPS says that I am going to arrive at 3 o'clock. Now my gas, I have 99 miles worth of gas in the car, and I have 55 miles to drive. So I have a slight cushion, but I don't want to fill up because they told me that I don't have to fill up when I return the car. Normally I would, but because they were having issues finding me a car, they said they were going to give me a free, you know, tank of gas, meaning I don't have to fill up the car. There was a good bit of slow traffic on the way here, and it looked like there was some on the way back. Now this car is a hybrid, and it can be in the EV mode and hopefully save me a little bit of gas, but I'm hoping to return it with as little gas as possible so I can get, you know, best bang for my buck. But yeah, I'll be heading to drop off the car. Then I will take the shuttle to the airport, and I mean, I'll still be getting there very early. I mean, but okay, I get there at 3:05 is what it's saying right now if I left at this moment, which I'm not going to because this parking lot is insane. I had a truck almost hit me in this parking lot. They were very angry and hanging out their doors screaming at me because they tried to back up and steal my parking spot when I had right to it. Yeah, I don't deal with the road rage. I let it go. I used to when I was younger, but I've just learned to let it go, and I managed to get the spot. It was supposed to be my spot. The guy was well past the spot and tried to back up when he saw them leaving. But anyways, if I get to the car return place a little after 3, it'll take a little bit of time to wrap up everything with that, then take a little bit of time to do the shuttle over to the airport. I would imagine I'll probably get to the airport a little before 4, which is not terrible. Boarding will be at 7, so I'm technically 3 hours early, but I still have to get through security. I still have to drop off my luggage, all of that. So I'm making pretty good time, and I have cushion in case there is like an accident or something along the way and traffic builds up. I'm really hoping that I can take a video at the airport. I will try to, but we shall see. Hopefully the next time you see me, I'll be at the airport. Okay everyone, I made it to the airport. So a couple of things that I wanted to mention. When I went to drop off the rental car, the guy noticed there was like a little divot in the windshield, and he had an iPad. He was, putting stuff in it, and then he was like, okay, how do you want to pay for this? And I said, well, I have full coverage insurance on the car. And what it is I bought one type of the insurance through AAA. And they didn't have record of that. I mean, obviously I have it, but they don't have it on their end, so he couldn't see it. And he started to process everything, and then he mentioned a picture. And I said, well, I took a picture of the rental car when I picked up the car. And he said, well, can you look at it and see if that little divot is there? And sure enough, I had taken a picture of all four sides of the car when I picked up the car, and I was able to zoom in and see it. So I am not liable for that crack or divot or whatever you want to call it in the windshield of the car. And even if I was, the insurance would pay for it. Sorry. So if you're going to rent a car, make sure you get the insurance and make sure you take pictures of the car whenever you go to pick it up, because that can save you a lot of money. It did take a while for him to get everything squared away, so I was really glad that I got there early to do that. As far as the shuttle to get to the airport, there was pretty much just one stop, and you go in there, and doesn't matter which airline, they drop you off. And I did the outside checking bag service. Now remember, I mentioned that I had way too many souvenirs from this trip, and I had to Tetris everything into my bags, and I was really worried that I would go over the weight limit. Now, when I flew out here on this trip, my luggage weighed 45 pounds, and the limit is 50 pounds. Anything over 50 pounds, you have to pay extra. The guy put the luggage onto the scale, and I pretty much just held my breath. It was exactly 50 pounds, so I did not have to pay anything extra. I got so lucky. That was twice that I got lucky. Made it through security really fast, and I ended up, you could either walk to, so here at Denver Airport you have, I guess you could say, Terminal A, B, and C, and I had to go to Terminal A. You could either walk to it or take the train. I knew that it would probably take a minute, so I decided to take the train. Good thing I did, because the train was going for a minute, and I would have hated to walk that far. But the great thing is in Terminal A, there is a hidden speakeasy, and I have it here on my phone because you know how I am. I can't remember anything. It's called Williams and Graham. And when I got there, there was only one or two people standing there. So when you walk up, you give them your name, you give them the flight, like the time of your flight. Because if your flight is going to be a minute, you know, then they're going to let people whose flight is going to be closer go first. But I would say I probably waited about 20 minutes. And then I was able to go into the speakeasy. They have craft cocktails there, and I talked to the bartender, Liz, who I want to give a huge shout out. Liz at Williams and Graham is amazing. I pretty much gave her free reign to make my drink, and she did not disappoint. I was able to talk with her and some of the other bartenders and some of the other people that were in the bar. Great conversations. I think there was a woman outside who did some research really quick before I went in. I think this is the very first speakeasy in an airport ever. It's only been open, I believe, 3 months. I found out about it from Instagram, and so that's why I wanted to check it out. And it's only a little ways away from my gate, but I recommend going there. Just know that you may have a wait, because there was some people that were waiting that were from Terminal B, Terminal C, that came all the way over just to go to this speakeasy. Some of them, they had like a 45-minute wait.
So if you're going to try and check out the Speakeasy, just know that you might have to wait. I grabbed some dinner here in the airport. I got dinner at Quiznos, which is amazing because essentially it does not exist anymore. I spoke with looked like the manager, and he was like, yeah, he said a lot of people are really shocked that it's still around. So if you're in Terminal A in the Denver airport, there is a Quiznos, and I recommend eating there. But my flight is in about an hour, so I'm just gonna relax for a little bit before my flight, and the next time you see me, I will be at home.